Morning, Judge.
All right, so let me get his file. Well, I guess the jail's not taking my call. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Hunter Lee Plumber. Still don't have a prosecutor. Why don't I have a prosecutor? Hold on, Mr. Daly. Let's see. Let me call the prosecutor's office. Oh. All right, maybe I'm not getting a prosecutor. Hold on. Call Allison.
It's okay.
I almost feel like a defense attorney again. So I can't get a hold of the prosecutor.
Hi, this is Allison Arnold.
So I got one now. So let's get Mr. Bayonetto in here. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Hunter Lee Plumber, file number 23-21331FH. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Plumber. This is the date and time set for two things. Hold on one second, Mr. Daly. It is set for a pretrial conference on the underlying file, and we have a contempt proceeding. Mr. Daly, I received a letter from Darren Coast, our pretrial services coordinator, that says we put Mr. Plummer's contempt out to December 6th to allow him time to pay his restitution. He has made a couple payments since his last court date. He paid $300 in October and $240 in November. His balance remains at $416. He states that he can pay, make another payment before Christmas, and the defendant is making an effort. So, Mr. Daly, in light of that, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, we would like to proceed with a plea in this matter. Mr. Hunter right now is on HIDA in Monroe County. It was my understanding that when he completes the HIDA in Lenawine County, and if he pays the money off here, I'm sorry, in Monroe County, he can have the HIDA here in Lenawine County. That was the understanding that was created before I was in this case. But that's what Mr. Hunter is wanting to do. He does not have the $416 yet, but he'll have it when.
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
When?
Okay, so can you pay $208 in December and $208 in January?
I can definitely do that, yeah, by the end of this month.
So, Mr. Daly, do you want me to set this out to like the first week of February for a plea then? And let him pay that off?
That'd be fine, Judge.
Okay. All right. So what I will do, and Miss Adams, is your computer working? I don't have Miss Adams working. So she's here, but her computer will not log on.
Judge, I can cover momentarily.
I just need a notice of hearing because he's in person.
Okay, can you remind me which case this is, Judge?
Say it again.
Can you remind me which case this is?
This is file number 23-21331FH. All right, so what I'll do, Mr. Daly, is I will set this for a pretrial on February 7 at 8:30 in the morning.
That sounds good.
Okay, and we're gonna get you a notice of hearing before you leave, Mr. Plummer. But I expect restitution to be paid off, half of it in December. I think it's 208 and 208 in January.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll get it taken care of.
Okay, all right, so I'll continue his bond, and I'm glad that you're making effort. Thank you, Mr. Coast, for the letter. And
Yep. Yeah, he's doing a good job, Judge. He's showing up, and I know he's trying. So
all right, so we'll see you back on February 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Sir, if you want to have a seat on the back bench or right there, either is fine. We'll get you a notice of hearing. Mr. Daly, do you have anything else this morning?
No, you're right.
All right, well, you have a good morning, Mr. Daly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take it easy, sir.
Huh?
I said you take it easy, sir.
Yeah.
Will do.
All right. Well, let's try the jail again. Hi, this is Judge Anselone. I'm sorry, you can't talk anymore. You gotta be quiet, all right? This is Judge Anselone. Can I get Jason Opal, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Bye-bye. So you just, we're on YouTube, so we're in hearings now, so you can't talk. All right. So, it's a gentleman right there. Thank you. All right, you're all set, sir. Thank you. I think your computer's up now. All right, Emily. All right, I don't have Mr. Malaro. Miss Underwood, it's not quite 8:30 yet, so I don't have the rest of your people.
Your Honor, since Ms. McClure is here, I believe Mr. Opal is going to be a plea, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll wait till he gets here and we'll call the case. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Takaya McKay, file number 22-21047 FH and 23-21323 FH. This is date and time set for request and summons for probation violation. She was ordered to appear today at 8:15 in the morning. It is now 8:23. I will issue a bench warrant for her arrest. And I will set bond on file number 22-21047 FH in the amount of $1,385.
Your Honor?
Is anybody, hold on, is there anybody from the jail there with Mr. Opal?
Nobody's in here, no.
Okay, Miss Adams, could you, it's okay. Miss Adams, if you could call the jail and let them know I'd like to see Mr. Moody, and then Mr. Madison, and then Miss Rowe next.
There's an.
So
alternate
Moody,
in there.
Moody, Madison, and Rowe. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there.
Oh, you're okay.
He came in, Your Honor.
Okay, you guys are workers, you're not here as defendants, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Opal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jason Frank Opal, file number 23-21508FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Opal, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. It's my understanding, Ms. Underwood and Ms. McClure, that there has been a plea offer that is going to be accepted. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
The plea offer at this time is as charged, no subs to the 7-year second on the sex offender registration charge, Your Honor. As I understand it, that is the complete plea offer. Mr. Opal will be pleading guilty to that, Your Honor. With the habituals being dismissed, we would also ask the court, pursuant to our discussion we had the other day, Your Honor, as I understand it, the MDOC has to make this a prison case, Your Honor, and we would ask at this time for the low end of the guidelines, which would Mr. Opal will still be going back to prison, but that would allow the MDOC to proceed with their case, and if they deem that Mr. Opal should be given some other punishment, then we would hope that the 10-month low end of the guidelines would suffice.
All right, Ms. McClure, is that a correct recitation of the plea?
Yeah, I've made no sentence agreement, but as far as the plea goes, yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Opal, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, so that room, the audio is kind of wonky. So
I do.
if you could like scoot up a little bit and speak a little louder for me, okay? Okay, so you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, sex offenders failure to comply with the Registration Act with a second offense notice, which makes the maximum penalty up to 7 years in prison? Is it your intention to plead guilty to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and now you understand you have a habitual offender 4th offense notice, which could make the maximum penalty up to 15 years, but that's being dismissed. Do you understand that?
I understand.
And then you understand that because you have a parole violation, you will be going to prison on that parole violation, evidently. But your sentence on this offense would be to the low end of the guidelines.
Yeah, it's for the nature of the charge, it's my understanding that I have to be sent back and let the parole board decide whether they want to keep me or not.
Right. So you understand all of that?
I do understand that. Like I said, it is my second time. It was only 30 days that I didn't fail to comply, which, you know.
Mr. Opal, only answer the questions I asked, because you could say something that could screw up the plea. So do you understand that's the maximum penalty?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, and are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Yes, she's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court other than what was stated on the record. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure,
That's correct.
and Mr. Opal, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at a trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
I do.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. And let's see here. Okay. And I don't, because he's already required to register, this offense doesn't require registration. I just want to make sure that's placed on the record. Correct, Ms. McClure?
I believe so. That's correct.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you, Mr. Opal?
I don't, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Opal, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about the time period between June 16th of 2023 through July 18th of 2023 that you failed to comply with sex offender registration?
I plead guilty.
Guilty
Yes.
or not? Okay. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
I do.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Underwood?
No.
Ms. McClure?
That's correct.
Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be other than the agreement placed on the record?
No, she hasn't.
All right, is it your own choice to plead guilty?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Opal, you were convicted of, let me find it here. Home invasion, I got larceny in a building, child support. Obviously, at some point you were convicted of a criminal sexual conduct offense. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. 4th degree.
And yep, and you were required to register as a sex offender. Is that correct?
Correct.
And during the time period of July or June 16th of 23 through July 18th of 23, did you fail to register as a sex offender?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you were previously convicted of a violation of the Sex Offender Registration Act in Monroe County last September 23rd of 2022. Is that correct?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Are you satisfied, Ms. McClure?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Underwood? Ms. Underwood?
It has, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made an agreement with regard to the sentencing guidelines and the sentence in that case, but that was a Cobb's agreement. But other than that, this court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation and I will set sentencing for January 19th of 2024 at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Opal, I don't think MBOC is going to take you yet, but do you have any objection to appearing via Zoom for sentencing?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set that via Zoom, and we will see you back on January 19th of 2024. Someone from our Michigan Department of Corrections office will meet with you, do an update, and do a PSI. And when you meet with them, be truthful about your background, the events that occurred. We'll get a copy of that to Ms. Underwood. She will review that with you in advance of sentencing. And we will see you back on January 19th at 8:15 in the morning, all right?
All right, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Churchill, who are you here on today?
Winhoven.
Okay, hold on. All right, let's see here. All right, why don't you step up to the podium with your client? And I have Monroe County Prosecutor's Office, and I don't see you enough, and I should remember your name.
Okay, Your Honor, Leah Hubbard.
Okay, I'm sorry, there it is. All right, stand at the podium, please. So this is in the matter of the people. Go stand with your attorney. It's okay. Yep, just stand right next to him.
Okay.
This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus James E. Winhoven, file number 2023-21410 FC. I have Timothy D. Churchill, P38179, appearing on behalf of Mr. Winhoven, and I have Leah J. Hubbard, P71043, appearing as a special prosecutor from the Monroe County Prosecuting Office. Welcome back again. So this is the date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Churchill, how would you like to proceed?
I would just like to update the court on the status of the case. There was a referral back to the Department of Forensic Psychology back in October. That has not been scheduled yet. I have called Dr. Rosenblum twice this week. I've not got a call back yet, although she was good about calling me back earlier on to see where they're at in terms of scheduling that. Defendant is awaiting a surgery yet for that hypothalamic hamartoma that he has in the brain. There was a actual denial to send him to the place where they do those surgeries. It was in Arizona. But there's been another consult, I guess University of Michigan tells them they can't do it. They've never done one like that on someone his age, and they've referred him to another, is it a pediatric neurologist?
In Beaumont.
At Beaumont, and that is scheduled for the 12th?
Yes.
Okay, December 12th. He's seeing a pediatric neurologist at Beaumont who may be able to work in conjunction with the surgeon in Arizona on some kind of a local surgery, but with their participation remotely. So that's what's going on with him at this time. And we're waiting for the forensic center to do the criminal responsibility evaluation, which not scheduled yet.
Okay, well, unfortunately, that's not uncommon at this time. Ms. Hubbard, I'm sure you deal with some delays in Monroe County as well. So in light of that, I would assume we need to adjourn this out at least 90 days, because even if he gets a call, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to do a report. Ms. Hubbard, any input on that?
We don't have any objection to that. However, I do want to make sure, obviously, we agreed to a reduction in bond, that the defendant is making diligent efforts to address that surgery. We had gone some time without hearing any update. So I just request at least monthly updates from Mr. Churchill to make sure that he's complying with, he's being diligent in getting that handled.
All right. So Mr. Churchill, you'll provide updates to Ms. Hubbard?
Certainly, yes.
All right. All right. So Mr. Churchill, I will set a pretrial in this case for March 13th at 8:30 in the morning. And can you do the stip in order to adjourn, Mr. Churchill?
Yes, I can.
And
sorry.
well, actually, he's here in person. I'm sorry, Miss Hubbard, what were you gonna say?
Did not catch that date. I apologize.
Okay, March 13th, are you available that day?
Yes, Your Honor, what time?
8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And Miss Adams, Mr. Winhoven's here, so could I get a notice? I won't make you do the step in order.
Okay.
I'll give him service today.
There was one other issue I wanted to ask the court. As the court's well aware, the defendant was released on a personal bond, house arrest. He sits home every day with nothing to do. He traditionally had been working with his father some in his masonry business. And I was just wondering, the family's wondering if he could possibly work for his father to do something during the day other than just sit home and eat all day. He would be under the company of a parent at all times. He used to do some part-time work with his father, manual labor stuff, carrying brick pavers and things like that at work. But it would probably be a lot more productive for him to work or do something during the day while we're waiting for things to play out here.
I would defer to you, Miss Hubbard.
Your Honor, we are strongly opposed to that at this time. The defendant, this is a very serious charges. The allegations here are extremely concerning. Per the police report, the defendant indicated after he was unable to carry out what he determined to be a sexual assault of the victim, he indicated that he had a desire to do something to someone else. He mentioned a previous incident involving inappropriate advances towards another female. He indicated something, and I don't recall the exact quote, about issues with his own parents and his life. He indicated, I believe, that he had spent the night prior to this incident outside of his parents' home. This is a very serious allegations, Your Honor. We do not believe that he is safe to be out in the community, and he has apparently severe medical issues. So at this time, we think house arrest is appropriate.
All right, so I'm not going to grant your request. Thank you, Mr. Churchill. And the record will reflect that you received a notice of hearing for both yourself and your client.
Yes, I have.
All right, his bond will remain the same. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, who do I have from the jail? Thank you, sir. Say it again.
Jeffrey Moody.
All right, Mr. Moody, hold on one second. Oh, there you are, Mr. Murphy. Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey William Moody. We have two files, 23-213, no, I'm sorry, 21623FH and 23-21624FH. I have, I need a prosecutor. Any prosecutor? I have Isaac Sneed and Alexander Bandetto now appearing on behalf of the people. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. And I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Moody. Mr. Murphy, this is a date time set for arraignment on both of these files. Do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, Your Honor, we would waive a reading of the information. We acknowledge receipt of said information, the witness list, and the discovery demand from the prosecution in this matter. We would ask the court to enter and continue a not guilty plea for Mr. Moody. We'd ask for a pretrial to be set as soon as the court can find a schedule to do so. I am going to speak to Mr. Moody at the jail there. I understand he is serving a sentence right now on a misdemeanor for another month or so. I will speak to him as soon as I can after speaking with the prosecution. I would ask the court, well, I am going to put in to have him screen for drug court, so I'm going to do that in the interim.
Okay. Okay, so I can set a pretrial for January 10 at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so I will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Moody on both of these files. And I will set a pretrial conference for January 10 at 8:30 in the morning. And because it's an arraignment, we will prepare the notice of hearing. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Moody. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moody. You have a good day.
All right, so anybody in here a defendant? Okay, what's your name? Jenny Justice. Oh, Jenny Justice. Becky, I have Jenny Justice in my courtroom. Is she supposed to be in my courtroom?
I will check.
Your Honor,
Do you have paperwork for me? Mr. Dagger Margosian?
that's my case, but we had waived arraignment, so I don't think it should be on the docket today.
Is it a Judge Olsaver file? I think it's Judge Olsaver. So, Ms. Justice, you're attorney and you signed a waiver, so you did not need to be here today. And I think it's actually a Judge Olsaver file because I don't have it on my docket at all.
It is a Judge Olsaver one. I just looked.
Okay, so Ms. Justice, stay in contact with Mr. Dagger Margosian and you should get a notice of hearing for a pretrial in a couple weeks. If you don't, make sure you check in with Mr. Dagger Margosian, all right? All right, thank you. All right, let's see, I've got Emily Smith in my waiting room. Let me find her. That is Mr. Malaro. I'm just going by the people I got. Sam Malaro, there you are, Mr. Malaro. Salvatore Malaro. Mr. Malaro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I have Miss Smith. Are you ready on Miss Smith? Okay. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Emily Ann Marie Smith. We have two files, 23-21352FH and 22-21177FH. I have a pretrial conference on file number 23-21352FH and a probation violation hearing scheduled as well on file number 22-21177. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Smith and Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
Judge, could I have a quick breakout with Ms. Smith? 2 minutes.
Going to open up a breakout room. Ms. Smith, I'm going to open up a breakout room and assign you and Mr. Malaro. Go ahead and join that breakout room. Right, I have Timothy Fathy and Ashley Kuseno. Here. Draper, Celeste Dunn, who are you? Oh, I can't see the total title, so I don't know who you're here on.
She's here on the Kuseno case, Your Honor.
Oh, it is Kuseno?
She's
Okay.
co-counsel with Mr. Draper.
Okay, got it. So, Ms. Dunn, welcome.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hello.
All right, let me bring Ms. Kuseno in. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ashley Marie Josephine Kuseno, file number 22-21022FH. I have Celeste Dunn, P61819, appearing on behalf of Ms. Kuseno, and Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference. So, Ms. Dunn, how would you like to proceed today?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have filed two motions last week. One is to adjourn the trial. The other is a motion in limine. There has been substantial information that's come out in this case with a contemporaneous pending civil matter. The dog at issue that is being alleged to have been a dangerous animal, was kicked. The woman, it's our position, was a trespasser, but we are getting through the civil case, the deposition testimony, which contradicts the police reports and which she reported to the police, and other information. So because this information has just started to come in roughly the first week of September, we are going through videotapes, and we have a lot of other evidence now we are discovering. So I'm requesting an adjournment of the trial. I do not believe that is opposed by Mr. Bayonetto.
Mr. Bayonetto?
It's not, Your Honor. I spoke with Ms. Dunn yesterday, and I would stipulate to that adjournment at this time, if the court is willing.
Okay, and how far out are you asking for a pretrial?
Ms. Dunn, maybe about 30 days. We can see where we're at.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say a little more time because of the holidays, but if we're just sort of checking in, I have no
How about
objection to that.
February 21 at 8:30 in the morning? 2/21 at 8:30 in the morning?
That'll work for the people.
Let me just double check, Your Honor. 2/21. That works for the defense.
All right, so we will take the trial of December 19th off, and we will set a pretrial for February 21 at 8:30. Mr. Bayonetto?
I was going to ask, do we want to get another trial date on the books, given that this is
Don't at this point, because I don't know what's going on with the civil case, and how about we come back in February, we can set it then?
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right. I have like 4 trials scheduled every week and none of them go, so it's just kind of bogs down the book. All right, so Ms. Dunn, can you do the stipend order to adjourn today's pretrial and set it for February 21 at 8:30 in the morning?
I can, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, Judge, I had a motion limine up. I'll just then adjourn that out so we can then argue it at a later time.
Yep, you can just put in the stipend order that it'll be adjourned to that date in February too.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Madison, who's your attorney?
Matt Murphy.
That's me, Your Honor.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus John Carlos Lorenzo Madison. We have 3 files, 23-21625FH, 23-21479FH, and 23-21575FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people and Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Madison. We have an arraignment on file number 23-21625FH. And let me see here, and then pretrial and contempt of court on the other 2 files. So Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Madison? Or do you waive the reading of the information on the arraignment file?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to 23-21625, we have received the information, witness list, and discovery demand from the prosecution. We would waive a reading of the information on the record. Would ask the court to set a pretrial. I did have a request put in for Mr. Madison to be screened for drug court. I was trying to find, I haven't got a response about that yet. Maybe because of the new file coming up, I'm not sure, but I was just going to ask for another pretrial, a week or 2 or whatever fits the court schedule best, trying to get an answer about whether or not he's accepted into that program and then move forward from there.
Okay, so I'll enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf on file number 23-21625FH. And how far out are you looking for a pretrial on these 3 files?
Again, Your Honor, we put in the request a bit of time ago, so I'm not really sure what's delaying it, other than possibly the upcoming file that's just now being arraigned. So I would think, 2 weeks, if the court could fit in a schedule, whatever around that time frame. Hopefully we'll get an answer by then and see if we can get a plea worked out.
12/20, December 20 at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, Your Honor, that worked for the defense.
All right, so on the arraignment file, we do the notice of hearing, but can you do the stipend order to adjourn on the others?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And we have drug court this week and team meeting, so I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on one second. All right, so Mr. Madison, you're all set. We'll see you back December 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And I'll check in with the drug court team this week to see what happened to your application. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Madison.
Okay, Emily Smith, Mr. Malaro and Miss Smith. All right, Mr. Malaro, have you had an opportunity to speak with Miss Smith?
I have, Your Honor.
Now, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Miss Smith?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask to adjourn both files, the basis for which is she'd recently been given a PR bond, and my understanding she is compliant with the conditions of her release. Her mother did drop off some documentation that I need to review with her before we can see if there's going to be a resolution to this matter. That'd be the basis for my request.
All right. Miss McClure, anything you wanted to add?
The only thing I want to add is that we had adjourned this from November 22nd because Mr. Malaro had wanted to refer Miss Smith to drug court. And as of yesterday, speaking with Miss Teskey, she has not received a referral for drug court. So, I mean, I guess if defense has decided to go a different way, that's fine. But I would just ask that if she still is interested in drug court, that happen before the next pretrial, as far as a referral and a evaluation.
Mr. Malaro?
It looks like I made the request in November. Let me look here. We did the referral.
Miss Smith, have you ever talked to anybody from CMH regarding drug court?
Yeah, I did. I was screened and she told me that I didn't seem like I was a good candidate for it. And I think that was November 17th.
Okay, so it looks like she was.
We did it on November 8th, the referral.
So it looks like she was screened already, Miss McClure, so.
Okay, well, according to Miss Teskey, as of yesterday, she was not. So maybe there's a break in communication there, but.
All right, so I'm gonna make a note for Miss Smith and Mr. Madison, and when we have our team meeting tomorrow, I will verify that, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So Miss Smith, I'm going to set pretrial January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. We'll see you back on that day. Mr. Coast, did you have anything to add on Miss Smith?
Well, Judge, she actually just got out of jail and she did start up with the drug testing. We did do a swab on her last week and I did get the results and it was negative. So it seems like she's doing a lot better.
All right, so keep that up, Miss Smith. We don't want any positives, all right?
All right.
Judge,
All right.
did you say January 5th?
January 3rd.
And is that for both files, right?
Yes.
And do I need to do a step in order for both files?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you both. All right, and you're all set, Miss Smith. You have a good Christmas. All right, who do I have joining me from the jail?
Alexia Rowe.
All right.
Your Honor, could I have a breakout session, Ms. Rowe, briefly, please?
Well, first I gotta call the case. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Alexia Jovan Rowe, file number 23-21609FH. I have Matt Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Rowe, and I have Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. You got about a couple minutes, Mr. Murphy, so.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Open up a breakout room. All right, I'm gonna open the breakout room. Miss McGreen, are you at your computer?
Yes, Judge.
I'm gonna send you a chat.
Okay.
They are down, I'm sending you the chat now, but they are down in Judge Olsaver's jury room. So there's chat. Okay. Timothy Fathy, Michael Dagger Margosian. I have Mr. Fathy.
Okay.
Who are you here on? Here. Okay. Let me check it. Okay. Yep. He's in the jail. All right. All right, let's get Mr. Fathy to next. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Charles Fathy, file number 23-21219FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people and Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Fathy. This is the date and time set for pretrial. Mr. Dagger Margosian, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I filed a motion to quash yesterday. We have a motion hearing date for 12/26. So I think we probably just need to schedule this for a pretrial after that. And then depending on the results of the motion, we'll know how to proceed, either setting it for trial or something short of that. So we just need a new pretrial date.
All right, and how far out do you want that?
Sometime in January. Maybe middle of January.
January 10 at 8:30 in the morning.
Sure.
All right, so Mr. Fathy, I will set this out to January 10 at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, that'll be fourth pretrial. So we will see you back on that day and you can do the stip and order, right, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
May I address the court, Your Honor?
Yes.
I haven't received the motion. I was unaware of the hearing date for the 26th. If counsel would stipulate, could we move the motion hearing date to January 10th at 8:30 as well?
Fine with me.
We can, but I try not to do motions on Wednesdays just because we have so many pre-trials.
Okay. I'll confer with Mr. Dagger Margosian, Your Honor, and maybe we can come up with an alternative date in early January.
And I don't mind moving the motion hearing date for,
thank you.
Some other time in January.
Thanks. All right, great. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Fathy, I'll see you back on January 10 at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, let's see what we got.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yeah, I have arraignments to do, and all I have with you is Simmons. Is that going to go today? It says it's a VOP.
Yeah. Well, let me see. He's not in jail, so let me see. He's not on the jail list. So let me pull his file. Hold on.
Yeah, and I called him, left a message on a recording for the phone number I had for him.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Daquan Simmons, file number 23-21422FH. This is the date and time set for a request and summons for probation violation. Mr. Moore mailed that out on November 20th of 2023 and set that for hearing today at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Simmons is neither present in the courtroom or on Zoom. So I will issue a bench warrant for his arrest and set bond in the amount of, hold on one second. We'll set bond in the amount of $2,848.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And that would be cash. All right, Ms. Rowe is back. So, Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed with Ms. Rowe?
Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Rowe wishes to enter a plea. Mr. Bayanetto had offered for Ms. Rowe to plead to possession under 7411 with entrance to the drug court. She has been accepted. She does wish to do that, enter the plea today. There is a contempt of court. We would just ask that that be adjourned to the date of sentencing. I'm not quite sure what that was for, and we would just rather deal with that then.
So is she pleading as charged count 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then she's been accepted into drug court?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd also ask if we could address bond briefly after the plea is entered.
Sure. And is there any Killebrew agreement between the people and the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rowe, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Rowe, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, controlled substances, possession of cocaine less than 25 grams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayanetto, does she have prior drug offenses?
She does, Your Honor, but this occurred before those drug offenses, so we did not know how that would affect her eligibility under 7411.
What are her prior?
It was one prior use that I think occurred in October, September or October, and this happened in what was the date on this? Maybe it was
June,
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Did not know how that would affect her eligibility under 7411.
It doesn't affect her eligibility. Okay. So, Ms. Adams, I'm going to put Mr. Bayanetto and Mr. Murphy in a breakout room with you, and I'm going to walk him back. So, hold on a minute. You could just say that. So, hold on. I'm going to find everybody here. Hold on, I gotta close all the breakout rooms because I had a couple open, so hold on 1 minute. Two, one. Hold on, Mr. Bayanetto. I gotta do it over again. All right, I'm gonna do it again. Mr. Bayanetto, Miss Adams, and where are you at, Mr. Murphy? All right, I'm gonna open that breakout room and I'm gonna step in back. Yeah, you got 10. Shower. Let us know. That's my. So I used to. Right.
All rise.
Thank you. All right. Okay, Mr. Murphy, you want to talk to your client?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
So, let me close these breakout rooms. Ms. Rowe, I'm gonna pop you back in a breakout room with your attorney, okay?
Okay.
And he'll explain to you why we were chatting. Okay, so. Mr. Goldstein, you are here on Jesse Smith, yes?
Yes,
I don't have Jesse Smith.
we may have moved it because he's in rehab.
Okay, let me see. I have him on my docket. I just don't have him. So I do, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jesse Smith, file number 23-21555FH. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Smith and Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Sorry, there's two files, 23-21556 and 21555. Let's see, I have a letter from Darren Coast stating that Mr. Smith is on bond conditions where he's doing twice a week testing. He was testing clean, but voluntarily put himself in inpatient program at Sacred Heart as he was having urges to use. He spent 2 weeks there before being discharged, and he is currently in an outpatient program with Catholic Charities here in Adrian, and he appears very sincere and wanting to remain clean and sober. I don't have him here today. He's not necessarily required to always be here, but Mr. Coast, any updates to that?
Yeah, Judge, actually, I saw him on the 4th. So just a couple days ago, he did drop off papers that shows he was discharged from Sacred Heart. So he is out. He is back on colors. So if he has a court date today, I don't know why he's not here.
Well, if he's been in and out of inpatient, he probably lost the date. Mr. Goldstein, how would you like to proceed?
If we could just kick this over a week or two, Your Honor, I'll get a hold of him and get him there.
Okay, I can do December 20, December 27, or January 3rd.
Let's go with the 20th, Your Honor.
All right, so I will set this over to 12/20 at 8:30, and you'll do the stip in order to adjourn?
Yes, I will. Isaac, can I
All
sign
right.
your name?
Yes, please.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Goldstein.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Murphy, you are back with Miss Rowe. So how would you like to proceed with Miss Rowe?
Your Honor, Ms. Rowe will be pleading to misdemeanor use of controlled substance today. And then again, we're asked to address bond after the plea is entered, and we'll just ask that contempt be set to the sentencing date, and we'll address that at that point.
All right, so Mr. Alexander Bayonetto, we will be amending the information to add a count 2 use of cocaine. And that's a 1 year, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm working on getting that prepared right now for the court.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And no drug court at this time, but services, correct, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Rowe, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, and that was with 7411, right, Mr. Murphy?
Quite frankly, I forgot if that was what Mr. Bayonetto was offering, but I would ask, yes, if we could, please.
That was the original offer, yes, was 7411 if she's eligible.
All right, so Ms. Rowe, you've heard the statement of the prosecuting attorney, your attorney, myself. Is it your intention to plead guilty to an added count 2 use of cocaine, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail, and you would be sentenced under 7411? So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count?
Absolutely.
Okay, and are you satisfied with Mr. Murphy as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, I am.
Neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayonetto?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Rowe, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
I do.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, I don't.
All right. So Ms. Rowe, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about June 20 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of use of cocaine? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Murphy?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayonetto?
No, Your Honor.
Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
Yeah.
Okay, what did he tell you?
We're not gonna do drug court in a year, about a year for the usage, and it'll drop the felony.
Okay, but no drug court, right?
Right.
Okay, all right, but he didn't promise you what your sentence would be or fines and costs or anything like that?
No.
And it's your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Miss Rowe, on June 20th of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, did you use cocaine?
Yes.
And you knew it was cocaine?
Yes.
And you had no legal right to possess cocaine, is that correct?
That's correct.
And are you satisfied, Mr. Bano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the court complied with the MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayonetto?
It has, Your Honor.
Accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights, and she does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I am going to refer this matter to the District Court Probation Department for a pre-sentence investigation, and I am setting it for sentencing on January 19th at 8:15 in the morning. Is Mr. Coe still on? Yep. So we do have a pretrial services coordinator, Mr. Coast, who will be monitoring her when I release her on bond. So a couple things. I am going to grant you a PR bond today, Ms. Rowe, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to put bond conditions in place. And
Okay.
Miss Adams, can you call the jail and tell them I'd like to see Mr. Stevens next? One of the conditions is you're not to use any illegal controlled substances.
Okay.
The second condition is that you're to have a substance abuse assessment. Now, if you go to inpatient treatment, they will do that there, okay? But I also need a release so that I can see that at the time of sentencing.
Okay.
Mr. Coast is going to monitor your bond conditions while you're out on bond. So you need to let him know what facility you're going to. If something happens, you can't get in. Mr. Coast is really good at finding places for you to go.
Yep, I have his
You
number
understand?
too.
Okay. And then if you don't go to a rehab facility, I'm going to want you to attend at least 3 NA meetings a week. Okay?
And I already go to some of them at Pathways, so.
Awesome, awesome. All right, and anything else you could think of, Mr. Bayonetto, for bond conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Murphy?
Your Honor, all I was gonna mention was that Ms. Rowe, I believe, was okay with Zooming for sentencing once we get to that point.
Okay. Are you good for Zoom for sentencing, Ms. Rowe?
Yes, and also, I know I gotta drive 3 times a week with Darren, right?
Yes, unless you're in an inpatient facility.
Okay.
Mr. Coast?
Yeah, Judge, that's what I was going to add, the testing. So, Ms. Rowe, when you do get out, come over to the courthouse, go up to the 3rd floor. As soon as you come out of the elevators, go in the clerk's office and tell me that you're here to see me. And then I'll meet you out in the hallway. We could set that up.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right, hold on, I gotta do this. NA 3 times a week. And I think I did what? No illegal controlled substances. Showed drop 3 times a week. Is that what you said, Mr. Coast?
Correct.
All right. And to attend an A 3 times a week and to have a controlled substance assessment. I think that's all the my conditions. Everything was under 74.
Excellent.
Under 7411. Yep. Okay. All right. So when you get out, connect with Mr. Coast. You're also going to need to, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, report to District Court Probation.
And that's
because
Ethan,
they,
right?
I'm sorry.
Is that Ethan Garcia?
Well, it's on the 1st floor. They'll do the pre-sentence report for me because your offense is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So usually it's Mr. McCarron that does it, but if you already have a probation officer, they'll probably do it. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Anything else, Mr. Coast?
I don't believe so. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Good luck to you, Miss Rowe.
Thank you.
Ms. Rowe, you have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Okay. So. I think she closed the jail window. She was polite. All right, so Mr. Opal was on this row. Yes, Moody. Mr. Murphy, Pedro Hernandez.
He's not, if he's not zooming in, I'll try to reach him. I was just trying to figure that out.
Well, he's not here, so do you want to reach out to him?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, Your Honor. Just give me a few minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Dagger Margosian, did we already do D'Angelo Williams or no? No.
No,
Do you know where, do you want to try to reach out to him?
he's in jail, Your Honor.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. Well, Amy Sexton.
She's out of jail, but I think the docket had said it was for 10:30, and that's what I told her. So she should be showing up soon. But Your Honor, she should be there in person.
Okie doke. I'm gonna call the jail. Hi, this is Judge Ann Simone. So the only three I have left, I have Mark Stevens, Anthony LaFrance, and D'Angelo Williams. I'm ready for all of them whenever you can get them.
I have Mr. Stevens in right now. We just got a text from him and then I'll get you your other two after him.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Alrighty. No
Bye-bye.
problem. All right, bye.
Should be on for it. All right, Mr. Stevens, good morning.
Morning. All about the neutrals.
Yeah,
All right, Mr. Malaro. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mark Allen Stevens Jr. File number 23-21605 FC. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Stevens and Dave McCready appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
I'd like to have a very short adjournment So I could maybe talk to Mr. McCready and then see if we could get a resolution on. Mr. McCready's made a very enticing offer, but I need to talk to him further about it.
All right, so my next available will be December 20 at 8:30 in the morning.
That would be fine, Judge, and if we get this resolved earlier, we can come in.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, I'll be over to talk to you probably probably tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, very good. So you can do the stip in order to adjourn, and we'll see you back on December 20th at 8:30 in the morning. If that hearing goes on December 20th, you can also log in on YouTube and watch it if you don't want to come to the courthouse, okay? Okay. All right,
you,
very
Honor.
good. Thank you, Mr. McCready and Mr. Malaro, and Mr. Stevens, you're all set, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. No, leave it on. There you go. You're all set. You can just leave. There you go.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I tried to reach Mr. Hernandez. I left a message at the number that we have. I don't know if you want to address the case now on the record.
Sure. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pedro Hernandez, file number 23-21526FH. This is a date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Hernandez has not appeared in person nor via Zoom this morning at all. Were you able to, was there voicemail or no, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, I left a voicemail. Mr. Hernandez, I believe this is just a mistake. I don't believe he has a previous misdate or a record of that in this file. I had spoken with him the day after the last pretrial, and again, since then, I think he may have just forgot this date because he does work every day until 3 o'clock, which is probably why it was difficult for me to contact him right now. So I'd ask the court maybe to.
So hold on, Mr. Murphy. So Ms. Adams, can you see if there's a stip and order scan? I don't show a notice of hearing for today unless one was filed. Unfortunately, the last thing I have in my file is November 14, but there may be a stip and order. Do you have one that you did for today, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor. The notes in my file say that it was sent to the prosecutor's office on the 15th of November, which that was the last pretrial date or shortly after. Yeah.
Miss McClure, you are muted.
Sorry about that. I was just saying we have a signed copy in our file as well for today's date.
Judge,
So
there's one from November 21st.
okay, it's just not in my file. All right, so he did appear before, and so I can adjourn this out 2 weeks if you'd like, Mr. Murphy.
I would ask for that, please, Your Honor, if Ms. McClure wouldn't have an objection.
No, and I think we have an agreement worked out on this case too. If Mr. Hernandez typically works till 3, if the court, if Mr. Murphy can get a hold of him and the court can schedule a plea at a different time, maybe we can do that even.
Yeah, and I'm always willing to do that. So,
yes,
but in the meantime, yes, 2 weeks out is fine.
All right, I'll set it for December 20th at 8:30 in the morning. But Mr. Murphy, if you reach your client and you want to bring him in, 3:30, 4 o'clock, we can do that too.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you want my office to do a stipulation order for the 20th?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I expect to hear from him probably later today. So maybe we'll get in later today and enter that plea.
Ms. Adams, what was the date that stip and order was filed with the court?
November 21st, Judge.
Okay, I'm just gonna put a note on there. Put a note on there for the clerk's office. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the jail. I have jail window 2, audio and video is turned off. And jail number 1, sir, what is your name?
Anthony LaFrance.
Okay, Mr. LaFrance. File. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anthony Wayne LaFrance. We have multiple files. File number 23-21622FC, which is set for arraignment today. And then I have file number, hold on, 20-20096FC, which is set for pretrial. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. LaFrance, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Judge, we would acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its reading in open court, waive any defects as to time and place and manner of service. Mr. LaFrance would plead not guilty to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if there's any habituals to that, we'd also acknowledge receipt of the witness list. And I would ask that a pretrial date be set within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
That'd be fine, Judge. And then I would also ask to have a breakout with Mr. LaFrance.
It's the only jail window I have, and I only have a couple left. So if it was for a minute or two, that's fine, but.
Right. Mr. LaFrance, I'll come see you tomorrow, okay?
All
right. We'll see you back on January 3rd, Mr. LaFrance, or sooner if Mr. Malaro wants you brought back sooner. Mr. Malaro, we do the notice of hearing on the arraignment file, so I just need a stip and order on file number 20-20096. Thank you. Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, you said do a notice of hearing?
So I have the arraignment file. Hold on, is that a bot file? Hold on, let me check.
It is a bot.
Oh, never mind. You don't do that one either. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I'm good then? On that file?
Well, I don't know if you're good.
I've been very good this year, Judge.
But I think you're fine. I have Sexton. I have D'Angelo Williams. I think you're all set.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good day. I have left the jail. D'Angelo Williams with Mr. Dagger Margosian and Amy Sexton. So, Mr. Murphy, where did you say Amy Sexton was? Oh, at 10:30. Never mind. So I think the only jail window I have left, the only person I have is D'Angelo Williams. What do you need, Rhonda? What can I do for you?
What about Evelyn Bell? I have it as a BOP pickup.
I show that Mr. McCarron adjourned Evelyn Bell to December 20th at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Then I think I'm done.
All right. Thanks, Rhonda. You have a good day.
Bye-bye. You too.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hi, who do I have from the jail? Can you scoot up a little bit? Because the audio is kind of wonky in that room. What's your name?
D'Angelo Williams.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus D'Angelo Williams. I have multiple files, 23-21308FH, 23-21309FH, and 23-21310FH. This is the date and time set for pretrial on all three of these files. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people and Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams. Mr. Dagger Margosian, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Williams?
Well, Your Honor, on the case scheduled for trial next week, we're ready to proceed. And so as far as the other pre-trials, I think we probably just need to get a new date, or I mean, the idea is that I know these are Judge Olsager's files, but the idea is that, you know, we're scheduling these up for trial. We do have one up, as I indicated, that's up for next week. So we're ready to proceed on that one. And for the other ones,
Okay, what did you say about Judge Olsager?
Never mind. So on the one that's scheduled for trial,
23-21309FH.
309, correct. This is for final settlement conference today, and we're ready for trial next week.
Okay, and that file is home invasion, first degree, assault with intent, which is a 10-year, MDOP 5-year assault, felonious assault, attempted malicious destruction. I don't see any habitual offender supplement, correct?
Correct.
All right, so that file is set for trial for 2 days, beginning December 12th. And I will have the other files with it during the trial. And at that point, we can set dates on the other files. Is that all right with you, Mr. Sneed?
That is, Your Honor. I did confer with Mr. Hartung, who has a 4-day jury trial scheduled before Your Honor on the same date and time on a William Badger, which is a 2021 case. And he seemed to indicate there's a great likelihood that that trial is going to proceed.
Well, is he in custody, Mr. Badger?
No, he is not. But I know there are probably 15 to 20 witnesses that have been subpoenaed to begin that day. So I just want to bring that to the court's attention.
All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, what I can do is give us a backup jury trial date in the beginning of January.
Well, the issue with, I guess, with that is because we need different jury panels for each of Mr. Williams' or I guess different what will
For
amount
each file, he would need a different panel.
Correct. So I don't want him, you know, I don't want to delay things.
Miss Adams, could I see the December, or can I see this year's?
Okay.
Book? Hold on. I understand where you're going with that. Let's see. can do December 19th at, hold on, 9 a.m.
That works for the people. As far as I know, I haven't checked with I have 3 officers subpoenaed. I haven't checked their schedules, but it
I
appears.
can move it. Okay, I can move it 1 week, Mr. Degemer goes into December 19th. And back up in case, if the, you know.
I think ridden hour on that date is going to be resolved, Judge. And also, I believe the court had just adjourned the Kuseno trial. That was set for that day as well.
I don't have written hour.
I'm sorry, that was in Judge Olsavers, but it was with Michael and I.
All right, so do you want Mr. Degemer goes in, me just to set it right now for Tuesday, December 19th, 1 week later?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, because I understand what you're saying about stacking the jury panel, so I appreciate that. All right, so 23-21309 will be moved to December 19, 23 at 8:30 in the morning. And the reason Mr. Williams, Mr. Degemer-Gosian's concern is that each of your files will go in front of a different jury panel because the jury panel can't hear 2 of your trials, and every jury panel is set for 3 months. So he had a valid concern and request, so I appreciate that. So I will move this trial date to December 19th of 23 at 8:30 in the morning. And all the other dates would stay the same, and I'll set the other files for pretrial that day. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Williams, I'll see you back on that day. Okay.
Can I be put in the breakout room with my attorney, please?
Let me see the last one I have from the jail. Yep. Mr. Degemer goes in just a brief breakout room. Oops. All right, I'm going to assign the jail room to, and Mr. Degemer goes in. Go ahead and join that breakout room.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Williams, you're all set, and I'll talk to you later, all right? Thank you. All right, and I think the last one you have is Miss Smith? Or Sexton?
Miss Sexton. I'm gonna try to get a hold of her now, see where she's at.
I thought you said, oh, she's not in jail. Okay.
All right.
Mr. Dagmar goes in. Let me call the file real quick. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Amy Marie Sexton, file number 23-21280FH, and Michael Dagmar goes in appearing on behalf of Ms. Sexton, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. I also do have a copy of a motion affidavit and bench warrant that was filed with the court on November 17th of 23 for her failure to appear for pretrial November 15 of 23. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Dagmar goes in.
Well, as far as the underlying case, Your Honor, first of all, I did just make contact with her. She's on her way. The agreement involves her producing a cashier's check or money order to the complainant in this matter, and once that is presented, this case will be resolved. So she's going to show up to court with that. I would maybe just ask Ms. McClure as to instructions on how she delivers it, maybe to victims' rights, or how do you want that, Ms. McClure?
She can give it to Bob Went for diversion, because I think she was in contact with him anyway.
Okay.
Initially on the case.
Okay, so Judge, she'll, like I said, she's going to show up to court, have that money order, and like I said, that will resolve this case. She's going to be there at 10:30, so if we could just pass it until that time.
All right. I don't think I have anything else, so I guess we'll log back on at 10:30 and or as soon as she gets here, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. All right, just let me know when she gets here.
So I should be done, right, Judge?
Is she gonna be entering a plea, Ms. McClure, or no?
No, if she, I don't know what's going on with my Zoom today, but if she pays, it'll be a dismissal because we've been trying to get her to do diversion for 2 years now, so.
Okay, so I guess you're done, Mr. Jones.